Hello, my radiant and magnificent Leo souls. Welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom, your sacred sanctuary for illuminating the profound celestial truths that guide your journey. I am your guide, and if the universe, in its infinite and loving intelligence, has guided you to this very message at this very moment, I want you to know deep within the fiery core of your being that this is no accident. This is a divine appointment. Pause with me now, before we venture any further. Find a quiet space, even if only within your own mind. I invite you to take a slow, intentional breath in, feeling the golden light of the sun filling your lungs, stoking the embers of your own inner fire. Hold it for a count of 3, and as you exhale, release everything that is not yours to carry. Let go of the week that has passed. Let the weight of expectation fall from your royal shoulders. Allow your heart, that vast and courageous lion heart of yours, to open just a little wider. Because the cosmos has orchestrated this moment, this sacred communion between your spirit and the truth that is about to unfold. My dear Leo, you are a child of the sun itself. You were born to radiate, to lead with warmth, to illuminate the world with your unique and brilliant light. But perhaps, just perhaps, you have felt that light dimming recently. Perhaps you've sensed a subtle but urgent whisper on the cosmic winds, a feeling that a pivotal shift is approaching. Well, that intuition, that royal knowing, is absolutely correct. The universe has been trying to reach you to deliver this essential message before the dawn of the new week, for there is something truly potent stirring in the energetic realms. This is a sacred warning, not of fear, but of preparation, and it must reach you before Monday morning. If you feel the truth of this stirring in your lion heart, if your soul recognizes the gravity of this moment, I want you to make a sacred pact with your own radiance right now. Press that like button, not as a mere click, but as a powerful seal upon your intention, a declaration to the cosmos that you are ready to receive this divine wisdom. And if you are ready to continue this journey of unlocking your most brilliant self, subscribe to Cosmic Wisdom so you never miss these transmissions. Finally, let us create a wave of sovereign energy together. In the comments below, let me know you are here and ready by typing, "I am reclaiming my sovereign light." Are you ready, magnificent soul? Because you simply cannot afford to walk into the dawn of a new week energetically depleted. Before you make your plans, before you set your intentions, before you take a single step forward, you must first hear this truth. You see, for a soul like yours, a Monday is never just a Monday. It is the inaugural sunrise of a new, creative cycle. It is the moment you set the vibrational keynote for everything that will follow. How you begin your week determines the altitude at which you will soar. And the universe is whispering with a loving urgency, do not take another step fueled only by your own magnificent but finite strength. So many beautiful souls, especially powerful Leos like you, step into the week with a heart full of grand plans and a mind brimming with ambition, yet their spirit is running on empty. And then they wonder why their creative fire feels more like a flicker than a flame, why every task feels heavier, why their natural joy feels so distant. The celestial instruction is crystal clear, my love. Pause, breathe, reconnect. You must fill your own golden chalice before you can pour your light out into the world. An unlit sun cannot warm a solar system, and a depleted Leo cannot carry the glorious destiny that this week holds in store for you. Let me be clear. This is not a message to inspire fear. Fear is a low frequency, and you, my dear, were born to resonate with the highest frequencies of courage and love. No, this is about your foundation. The universe is preparing to swing open doors of divine opportunity to present you with platforms for your creative expression and leadership. But these golden chances, these moments of destiny, can only be seen, seized, and sustained by a soul who is walking in radiant alignment, not in quiet anxiety. Monday is not your adversary, it is your grand stage. It is the altar upon which you decide what will lead your week, the frantic pace of the world, or the divine rhythm of your own heart, your will, or the cosmic will that flows through you. And let me tell you a secret, a profound truth. The souls who begin their week in sacred communion with their source always end in triumph. So this is the cosmos's gentle but firm reminder. Begin your week on your knees in gratitude, not on your phone in reaction. Seek the unwavering voice of your own soul before you chase the fleeting applause of the world. And please stay with me on this journey. Do not scroll away, because in the moments that follow, we will dive deep into the cosmic reasons why the beginning of the week is a powerful point of destiny, and how starting in your full, radiant power guarantees you will not just finish strong, but finish in a blaze of glory. Let's journey deeper, shall we? Why is the universe so insistent that you not walk into a new week energetically empty? Because, my beautiful friend, a vacuum never stays empty for long. Emptiness is an invitation. When your spiritual and energetic reserves are low, when your inner sun is dimmed, it creates a space that other less harmonious energies are all too eager to fill. When your radiant spirit is depleted, the whispers of self-doubt find a fertile ground to grow. When your courageous heart is empty, the distractions and dramas of the world seep in through the cracks. When your innate faith in your own magnificence is running low, fear moves in and sets up residence in the throne room of your mind. This is why you might feel utterly exhausted before Monday afternoon even arrives. It's not a sign of your weakness, magnificent Leo. It is a sign that you have been trying to shine while disconnected from your infinite power source. You cannot fight the spiritual and energetic battles of a leader with an empty tank. You cannot pour your warmth and encouragement into the lives of others if your own chalice is dry. Emptiness is never a neutral state. It is an open doorway, an invitation for the lower vibrational energies of the world, anxiety, comparison, frustration, to come in and cloud the beautiful kingdom of your inner world. It's allowing static to interfere with your divine broadcast. The great spiritual masters have taught this for eons. The sacred text of your own soul whispers it to you in quiet moments. Stay connected to me, and you will create magnificent things. Apart from me, you will struggle. Notice the truth in that. It doesn't say you will create less. It says you will struggle. Every attempt to begin your week without first centering and filling yourself is an attempt to run a celestial powerhouse on a tiny mortal battery. Let's imagine your spirit, your magnificent Leo soul, is the sun itself. It is vast, powerful, and designed to be a source of life and light. Now imagine trying to power that sun with a single log from last week's fire. It's impossible, isn't it? The sun's power comes from its core, from its constant internal nuclear fusion. It is its own source. So it is with you. When you begin your week without that sacred inner communion, without stoking your own internal fire through stillness, gratitude, or joy, you are operating on residual energy. A drained spirit cannot discern divine direction from distracting detours. It's not that the universe isn't guiding you, my love. It's that you no longer have the radiant energy required to perceive the signs, to hear the whispers, to feel the cosmic nudges. The chaotic energies of the world know this. They attack early. They don't wait for Wednesday or Friday when you're already in the thick of it. They target your Monday mindset. They flood your Sunday evening with anxieties about the coming week, with endless to-do lists, with the echoes of past failures. Because the moment the world's chaos can fill your first day with pressure, worry, and distraction, it has already compromised the majestic radiance of your entire week. This is why your time of rest, your Sunday, is not just a day to recharge your body. It is a sacred time to refill your soul. The forces of dissonance and distraction fear a Leo who begins their week centered, glowing with inner peace and roaring with creative fire. They will do anything to pull you out of that center before your week even begins. But not this time. This time, the cosmos is pulling back the curtain and revealing the strategy. The universe is saying to you, my beloved child of the sun, if you guard the sacred dawn of your week, I will secure the glorious sunset. The strength of your week flows directly from the quality of its beginning. Start it empty, and you will spend the next 7 days fighting to reclaim your power. Start it full, overflowing with your own light, and you will spend the week in a state of creative flow. The difference between royal frustration and radiant fulfillment is the conscious presence of your own divine spirit. The reason many powerful leaders like you feel spiritually fatigued is not because their mission is too great. It is because their connection to their source has been stretched too thin. Your connection to source, to the divine, to your own highest self doesn't just refresh you, it refocuses you. It aligns your entire being. It places unshakable peace where fear once prowled and a sense of profound purpose where confusion once reigned. When you start your week with a moment of sacred intention, be it meditation, journaling, walking in nature, or simply deep conscious breathing, you are sending a powerful declaration to the universe. You are saying, my peace is not for sale. My focus is not negotiable. My joy is my birthright, and it will not be compromised this week. Let's be profoundly honest with ourselves, shall we? The reason so many of us, even the most brilliant and capable souls, feel stuck, anxious, or lost at times is not because the universe isn't speaking. It's because we haven't created the sacred space to truly listen. Divine guidance is not distant. It's just often drowned out by the noise of our own lives. That is why your soul has guided you here to hear this again. Do not walk into Monday energetically empty, because an empty spirit leads to a volatile emotional state. It leads to confusion, to making compromises that dishonor your soul, and to a deep, penetrating weariness. You cannot walk in the divine authority of your own sovereignty if you are spiritually malnourished. The world does not need another tired, burnt-out leader, my dear Leo. It needs you. It needs you as a filled vessel, a walking sunbeam, a chosen one whose very presence brings warmth and whose words carry the power to inspire. That is who you were born to be. But you cannot be a sacred fire if you do not stay near the flame. Now, I want you to truly let this next truth land, because it is the very foundation upon which your most magnificent weeks will be built. How you begin your week determines how you walk through it. If you start your week steeped in worry, you will energetically attract circumstances that mirror and validate that worry. If you start your week in a state of complaint or frustration, you will find yourself surrounded by negativity. But oh, my beautiful soul, if you start your week in conscious connection with your divine source, with your own radiant heart, you begin to attract divine order, unexpected favor, and unshakable strength. The energy you focus on first becomes the magnetic core, the gravitational center around which the events of your next few days will orbit. This is why the chaotic energies of the world work so hard to hijack your mind on a Sunday night or a Monday morning. They flood you with the anxieties of the past and the pressures of the future. They know that if they can capture the beginning, they can sabotage the entire journey. But when you consciously choose to begin your week in the sanctuary of your own presence, you are making a sovereign declaration. You are telling the universe that your inner peace is off-limits to external chaos. A great spiritual text reminds us, in all your ways, acknowledge your source, and your path will be made clear. To acknowledge your source at the start of your week means you are handing the reins of your chariot to your higher self before you even begin the race. It means you are saying with your whole being, Divine Intelligence, you go before me. You light my way. And when you do that, every crooked path begins to straighten. Every obstacle begins to reveal itself as a hidden opportunity. The universe doesn't just want to bless your week from afar, Leo. It wants to co-create it with you. But it cannot build with materials you do not bring to the altar. That is why it is whispering to you now. Bring me your Monday, your first fruits of intention and presence, and I will bless your entire week with grace and flow. When you start from this place of centeredness, you shift from a reactive survival mode into a state of powerful spiritual momentum. You no longer just react to the winds of circumstance. You become the wind. You begin to shape what happens through your powerful intention, your unshakable peace, and your higher perspective. When you start your week this way, something supernatural begins to unfold within you. You start to see challenges not as roadblocks, but as cosmic invitations to rise higher. You walk into rooms, and your very presence shifts the energy, bringing warmth and calm. You begin to make decisions from a place of deep, intuitive revelation, not from frantic, surface-level reaction. You start to notice the divine timing in what used to look like an inconvenient delay. A sacred verse says, "The steps of a good soul are ordered by the divine." This means that nothing in your week is truly random, my love. Every conversation, every so-called delay, every unexpected encounter is a thread woven into the grand tapestry of your destiny. But you can only recognize that divine pattern, that golden thread, when you have given your first moments to the weaver. Starting with this sacred connection gives you the spiritual vision to recognize that what others call problems you can see as platforms for your growth. It helps you to discern that a closed door is not a rejection from the universe. It is a loving redirection. When you begin your week anchored in the profound peace of your own presence, your soul becomes an unshakable mountain. Even when the storms of your schedule get chaotic, you are no longer relying on external circumstances to define your inner peace. Your peace becomes anchored in your connection to the eternal. And from that place of majestic alignment, you carry a divine rhythm, a sovereign grace through the rest of your days. When you truly grasp this, you stop chasing peace and you start embodying it. You stop fighting for control and you start walking in a state of supreme confidence, because you know that the divine intelligence that flows through you cannot and will not fail. You begin to view Monday not as a pressure cooker, but as a platform for your purpose. You wake up not with a sense of dread, but with a clear sense of direction. The world may call it Monday, but you in your wisdom will know it as a fresh canvas for your glory. Each new week becomes a sacred altar, a chance to declare, this light, this life, this creativity, it all flows from a source greater than me, and I dedicate its expression to the highest good. And every single time you start your week that way, you can be certain that the rest of your days will echo with the harmony and order of the cosmos. Let's slow down for a moment and go even deeper. What does it truly mean to start your week full? It means you consciously and intentionally refill your lamp before you begin the journey. It means you do not step into new, uncharted territory running on yesterday's inspiration. In a timeless spiritual parable, we hear of 10 maidens waiting for a great event. 5 were called wise and 5 were called foolish. What was the defining difference between them? It was simple oil for their lamps. The wise ones brought extra oil. They understood that the journey might be longer than expected, and they prepared accordingly. The foolish assumed that the oil they already had would be enough, and that my magnificent Leo is the subtle trap where so many brilliant souls fall short. They try to live this week on the fire from last week. They try to navigate today's challenges with last week's prayer, last week's meditation, last week's creative spark. But spiritual and creative stamina does not come from a memory of connection. It comes from the daily living practice of it. Chosen one child of the sun, do not be caught with a dimming lamp in the very moments that demand your brightest light. Do not try to shine without oil. Do not try to run on the fumes of past inspiration when the universe is inviting you into a deep and present intimacy with your own creative power. Every single day burns a little of your spiritual oil. Every interaction, every responsibility, every decision, every challenge requires a bit of your light. That is why you must have a practice of refilling, especially before the demands of a new week begin. And refilling isn't some complicated, arduous ritual. It is simply the act of returning to your source. It is the quiet, humble moment of saying, universe, before I face the world, I must first face my own soul. Before I give my energy to my tasks, I must first receive energy from my source. It is the posture of divine dependence, the beautiful acknowledgement that your incredible strength without surrender to the flow of life can sometimes become a gilded cage of pride. The truly wise refill not because they are weak, but because they know that staying full is the secret to staying faithful to their mission. It is consciously choosing to worship life instead of worrying about it. It is choosing to read a single paragraph of sacred text over scrolling through miles of meaningless data. It is choosing 5 minutes of sacred stillness over 5 hours of chaotic noise. It's understanding that before the week can drain you, your spiritual practice must fill you. A beautiful piece of ancient wisdom declares, "They that wait upon the divine shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles." When you wait, when you take that sacred pause, you are not wasting time. You are performing a holy act of alchemy. You are exchanging your weariness for wings. You are trading your human anxiety for divine anointing. You are swapping the world's pressure for the peace of your own presence. This refilling is not optional for a soul like yours, Leo. It is essential. You cannot pour out the golden light of love and leadership if you have not first received it. And when you walk into your Monday with wings, even the storms that come will only serve to lift you higher. When others are panicking, you will soar. When others are complaining, you will conquer. When others are burning out you, my love will burn brighter than ever before. So this Monday, do not just wake up. Rise up in your full glory. Do not just plan your week. Prophesy over it with words of power and grace. Do not just hope things go well. Command your atmosphere with the authority of your centered spirit. Because the Leo who starts their week filled becomes an unstoppable force of nature. The one who begins with an overflowing cup of inner light ends with an abundance that spills into every area of their life. When you start your week in the secret sacred place of your own heart, you will walk through your days with a supernatural power that the world cannot understand, but will absolutely feel. Now let's bring this down from the cosmos and into your real, tangible life. Because the universe doesn't just want to inspire you, it wants to instruct you. Revelation without application can lead to frustration, and heaven does not want you inspired, but inactive. Here is a simple, practical framework for how to begin your week filled with your own divine power. First, start with surrender. Before your hand reaches for your phone, before your mind races to your to-do list, simply whisper either aloud or in your heart, "Divine Source, this week is yours. I surrender it to the flow of grace." Hand over your deadlines. Hand over your doubts. Hand over your deepest desires. When you surrender, you are not admitting defeat. You are creating space for a higher power to enter. It is a divine exchange. It is how you trade your need for control for true clarity and your panic for a profound peace. When you start your week bowed in humble surrender to the wisdom of life, you will rise to meet the world with unshakable spiritual authority. Second, start with sacred words. You don't need to read for an hour. Even one verse, one quote, one paragraph from a book that speaks to your soul can reframe your entire day. Words are living energy. They are water for a thirsty spirit. Drink from a source of wisdom before you drink from the fire hose of the world's noise. Read slowly. Listen deeply. Let the words wash over you. When your mind is filled with words of truth, beauty, and power, the seeds of fear and doubt have no soil in which to grow. These sacred words become both your compass and your protective shield. Third, start with silence. Just for a few moments, be still. This is where your clarity will flow from. The voice of your soul. The whisper of the universe speaks in the quiet moments, not in the midst of chaos. Too many of us miss our divine direction because our lives are simply too loud. Please hear me, Leo. Stillness is not laziness. It is an act of profound spiritual discipline. It is the sacred pause that allows the clear frequency of heaven to cut through the static of everyday life. When you quiet your mind, you will be astonished to realize that your guidance has been there all along. You just needed to be still enough to hear it. Finally, start with gratitude and declarations. Before asking for anything, thank the universe for everything. Thank it for the breath in your lungs, for the lessons behind you, and the blessings before you. Gratitude is the master key. It instantly resets your heart to the frequency of peace and abundance. Then, with that grateful heart, speak life over your week. Use your royal voice. Declare this week, "I walk in divine favor and creative flow. This week, my steps are guided and my path is clear. This week, no negativity formed against me shall prosper, for I am shielded in my own light." Your words are not empty, my love. They are potent seeds. Plant them with intention. When you do these simple things, you activate the rhythm of the cosmos in your life. You transform your Monday from something you must endure into a grand stage you command with grace. When you begin with your source, everything else in your life begins to align. Chaos loses its grip. Fear loses its voice. Your direction becomes crystal clear. And by the time you step out into the world will not drain you. It will feel the glorious overflow of your radiant spirit. Because starting your week in this sacred way isn't just a nice habit. It is a heavenly strategy. It is how you, magnificent Leo, transform ordinary weeks into a legacy of divine victories. And so, my chosen ones, my radiant lion-hearted souls, this is the final loving whisper from the cosmos before your new week dawns. Do not walk into what is coming next with only what is left over from before. The universe is ready right now to pour fresh grace, new inspiration, and divine solar strength into your being. But it can only fill a vessel that is open and ready to receive. Too many of us try to face new battles with old, worn-out strength. We try to carry new, grand assignments with yesterday's depleted energy. But the spirit of life is always whispering, "Behold, I make all things new." That means every single sunrise carries a brand new supply of mercy, of strength, of creative potential just for you. This week, before you do anything else, open your spirit. Let the universe refill you. Let it remind you that you are not forgotten, you are not forsaken, you are not finished. You are simply being refueled for a new level of your glorious existence. Ancient scriptures tell us that divine mercies are new every single morning. That means every Monday is a cosmic reset button. Every sunrise is heaven's personal announcement to you, "I still have a profound purpose for you." The universe does not recycle its blessings. It releases them fresh and new in every moment. So if you awoke this morning, if you are breathing right now, that is all the proof you need that heaven has already voted for you to continue your mission. Do not let the shadows convince you that last week's stumbles have disqualified you. If the universe has not withdrawn its breath from your lungs, it has not withdrawn its divine plan for your life. You are stepping into a sacred reset. So please, I implore you, do not drag the ghosts of last week's failures into the sacred dawn of this one. Do not let yesterday's pain silence today's promise. Let go. Let your source lead. Let your spirit fill every empty, aching space within you. Because when you walk into your Monday filled with the light of your own soul, you walk into it already victorious. A storm holds no terror for a soul that is saturated in its own peace. The negativity of others cannot intimidate a spirit that is overflowing with divine presence. The chaos of the world cannot shake a heart that is anchored in sacred love. What emptiness weakens, fullness restores. And your fullness, my dear Leo, always begins in fellowship with your own divine heart. Your peace becomes your armor. Your faith becomes your scepter. Your joy becomes your unshakable strength. The world may see just another Monday, but the cosmos sees a child of the sun walking into their destiny, carrying fire, clothed in favor, and filled with a power that can change the world. So rise, magnificent Leo. Do not dare step into this week spiritually empty. Begin with your source. And when you do, watch in awe as everything you touch, every word you speak, every project you lead begins to carry the unmistakable signature of the divine. Because when heaven fills you, even your ordinary moments become anointed with extraordinary grace. Let us seal this sacred intention together as one cosmic family. I invite you to place a hand over your heart, close your eyes, and receive this blessing. Great cosmic heart, divine source of all that is, we come before you now with open hands and willing spirits. You are the author of time, the keeper of seasons, and the eternal sun whose light lives within each of us. Lord, before another sunrise ushers in a new week, we pause. We pause to acknowledge that we need you, not just on Sundays, not just in moments of crisis, but at the very beginning of every breath, every plan, every single step. Divine Spirit, We release any pattern of trying to move forward on our own. We let go of every Monday we entered depleted, every time we trusted our own frantic schedule more than your divine rhythm. Refill us now. Let your golden light flood through the cracks of our weariness and fill us until overflow becomes our natural state. Holy Spirit, come now like a gentle wind and a steady flame. Breathe life into our dry places. Burn away every distraction, every fear, every invisible weight that has been dimming our light. Ignite our hearts again with a passion for our purpose. Let every room where this blessing is heard become a sacred altar. Let your peace descend like a soft golden rain, and let our power rise like a blazing benevolent fire. For the soul who is weary, lift them now. For the one who feels unseen, remind them they are a radiant, chosen child of the sun. For the one fighting silent battles, wrap them in the undeniable assurance that you have already gone before them and prepared their victory. We decree and declare that this week will not drain them. It will define them. This week will not crush them. It will crown them, because they will not start empty. They will start with you. Saturate our Mondays with miracles, our Tuesdays with truth, our Wednesdays with wisdom, our Thursdays with thanks, our Fridays with favor, and our weekends with wonderful rest. Let every step we take carry purpose. Let every thought we think be anchored in love. When fear whispers, let our courage roar. When doubt rises, let our faith in you and in ourselves rise higher. Seal this blessing with your power, O divine source. We declare that this week belongs to our highest good. Our minds will start with peace. Our hearts will start with purpose. Our spirits will start with power. No weapon of negativity will prosper. No distraction will prevail. No fear will dictate our direction. We walk into Monday filled, focused, and on fire. We rise as the radiant royal souls we were born to be, refueled, realigned, and ready. And we declare with bold and unshakable faith, we will not walk into Monday spiritually empty. We start with our source, we move with our source, and we create with our source in love, in light, and in infinite power. And so it is. Amen. Aho and Om.